She is a wonderful singer, by the way. I have never been introduced to this group before. Terry is a friend, and I love Mary Oliver. And I actually brought a poem of hers to read in case nobody chose this one, which they didn't. Okay. But first I'd like to tell you I'm Judy Kaufman. And yes, I say it like a cow because I'm from New York originally. Many of you will say Kaufman, and that's okay. I am the editor of a literary and art journal called East on Central. And I have a copy of it here if anybody would like to take a look at it later. You can find us on the web at eastoncentral.org. And we take submissions of poetry, prose, and visual art November 1st through March 1st every year. It is unique in that we have some very fine visual art, and we also encourage collaboration. So if you have a friend who does visual art and you are inspired by it to write something, we're interested in seeing it. Not everything we do is collaborative, but we try to encourage that. Anyway, our website again is eastoncentral.org, and I'd be glad to show you the book or tell you about it. This is the Mary Oliver poem that I chose. I don't really think we need this, do we?
You're fine.
And it is called The Owl Who Comes. The owl who comes through the dark to sit in the black boughs of the apple tree and stare down the hook of his beak, dead silent, and his eyes, like two moons in the distance, soft and shining under the heavy lashes, like the most beautiful lie, is thinking of nothing as he watches and waits to see what might appear briskly out of the seamless, deep winter, out of the teeming world below. And if I wish the owl luck, as I do, what am I wishing for that other soft life, climbing through the snow? What we must do, I suppose, is to hope the world keeps its balance. What we are to do, however, with our hearts, waiting and watching, truly, I do not know. This is called Birds in Autumn. I should say, a couple of people mentioned that they've been writing poetry since they were 12. I have been writing creatively since I was 50. I believe I started a new life at the age of 50. This is called Birds in Autumn, and it's about 8 years old, actually. 3 rows of birds perched at intervals atop power lines, like counters on an abacus, calculating, perhaps, the time remaining till they leave for warmer power lines. Could one be a malcontent, unmoved to make the long migration to uproot from one home to another, genetically rebellious, culturally ambivalent? Not likely. Birds stay with their families. Children grow and fly away, searching for homes, warm or not, so long as they are of a new climate. On a visit to a Kenyan animal orphanage, I saw an anorexic baby elephant mourning her murdered mother, refusing to eat. How odd. Human children do such things to assert independence from their parents. Homo sapiens survive by making changes. Other creatures thrive in remaining the same. If only our evolved brains could decipher the secrets of the birds in autumn, all generations might be content. Beautiful. This is called Advice to My Younger Self. It was inspired by a book I read wherein the author, well, really less the author than the editor brought the words of people who, she asked them the question, what would you tell to your younger self? So I thought about it. Advice to my younger self. Wherever your feet may be headed, follow. If your fingers reach for new textures, feel. When only you hear the notes in your head, sing. Whatever you dream when you are awake, do. Pay no attention to the circus around you. Don't allow them to write your story. If you jump through their hoops, vital time will be lost. You be the author of you.
Very nice.
Love that.
Nice. And then one more. This is, I guess it's a prose poem. And, well, you'll understand from the poem that it was written after a traumatic incident in my family. It's called Rude Awakening. It takes a trauma to cure the trivial. Once I was distracted by open cabinet doors and left on lights, though I didn't mind the lifted toilet seat so long as he didn't care about the lowered one. Not a day went by that I didn't shout at someone on TV for using I as the object of a preposition. I even congratulated a manager at Byerly's for changing the sign to read 10 items or fewer, only to find when the place reverted to Dominic's, they reverted to less. My blood pressure surely spiked that day. Nothing like a crisis to shatter the prism of one's perspective. My daughter's head went over her heels and took my sense of self-righteousness down a flight of steps. What are the consequences of incorrect conjugation, the rectitude of being right? Where is the value in triviality? Who wins a moot argument? I told you that yesterday, he insisted. Before the crisis, my adamant answer would have been, no, you didn't. We might have gone back and forth for a while. Did not, did to, did not. It really was an exhausting expenditure of breath. Now I close my eyes and inhale the precious oxygen. I'm sorry. I guess I forgot.
Very nice. Thank you so much. Lovely.
Thanks.
And did you want to read a couple?
Ooh, oh, I'm losing my balance here,
I
sorry.
think about 10, if I may. No,
Go ahead.
just kidding. A couple, 2, 4, 6, 8. But anyway,
How about 3?
I'm going to sing a song to begin with.
Oh, great.
And